What's up guys, my name is Ryan Shirley and I spent the last few years exploring the islands of Europe and I want to show you my favorite places. So here's my European islands top 10. The islands of Europe are home to some of my all-time favorite travel destinations, from the Isles of the Mediterranean to the archipelagos of the Atlantic Ocean. Europe's islands offer so much variety and diversity. Let's start this video off at possibly my favorite archipelago in the world, Spain's Balearic Islands. Now, the Balearic Islands are made up of Mallorca, Ibiza, Menorca, and Formentera. When you think of a Mediterranean paradise, this is it. They are home to crystal clear waters, pristine beaches, and some of the world's best cliff jumping spots. When I started solo traveling, Mallorca was the first place I went to, so it'll forever have a special place in my heart. One of my favorite places in Mallorca is Cala Varquez. It has everything from sandy beaches to prime cliff jumping spots. The combination of white limestone, green vegetation, and crystal blue water makes for one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. When I was there, I did one of the biggest cliff jumps and I sent a gainer off a massive 60-foot arch. Mallorca is also home to one of the world's windiest highways, the road to Sacolobra. It's full of hairpin turns and loops that wind down the mountain. If you follow the road down to the bottom, you can visit Torrent de Paris. It's this awesome beach situated between these two cliffs. I just couldn't recommend Mallorca enough. It's one amazing place. If you're feeling like partying it up, you'll have to visit Ibiza. Now, while Ibiza is known for its crazy nightlife and party scene, it also has some of the world's best beaches and scenery. Me and my brother had the crazy idea to go during Halloween, and while we didn't take any pills in Ibiza, we sure found some incredible cliff jump spots. One of my favorite places in Ibiza is this little island called Isla de Esvedra. It's this rugged, uninhabited island that shoots over 400 meters straight out of the ocean. There are lots of myths and legends about Esvedra, and some claim that it has magnetic powers. I'm not sure if that's true. I just know that's one of the most beautiful islands I've ever seen. Whether you want to go to Ibiza for cliff jumping or partying it up with Kaigo, it's one of the most entertaining places to visit. After, we're going to head over to the Atlantic Ocean to visit the volcanic Canary Islands. Located off the coast of northwest Africa, the Canary Islands are home to some of the world's most unique landscapes. You might as well call it the Hawaiian Islands of Europe because that's what they remind me of. The biggest and most populated island on the archipelago is called Tenerife. It looks like a prime location to film the next Jurassic Park film. It's home to Mount Teide, which is a dormant volcano, which is Spain's highest peak at 12,198 feet. One of the craziest places in Tenerife is the cliffs of Los Gigantes. They are these massive sheer cliff walls that rise 800 meters out of the ocean. I felt like I was going to see a flying dinosaur soaring over those cliffs. You can also venture the windy roads to the Masca Gorge, or you can explore the incredible seaside views of Bendijo Beach. You can also head over to the nearby island of Fuerteventura. Being the second largest of the Canary Islands, Fuerteventura also offers some jaw-dropping landscapes. The Playa de Cofete is an incredible isolated beach with a backdrop of desolate mountains. One of my favorite places is Parque Natural de Coralejo. It's home to a pristine area that has sand dunes that go right up to the ocean. Aside from Tenerife and Fuerteventura, the Canary Islands are also home to islands such as Lanzarote and Gran Canaria. Canaries are a place that I haven't visited yet, but I definitely want to go as soon as I can. While we're still in the Atlantic, we're going to head over to Portugal's archipelago of the Azores. Located right in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, the Azores are a group of 9 islands like none other. They remind me of a hybrid between New Zealand and Hawaii, with its rolling pastures and green scenery. The largest island on the Azores is São Miguel. One of the most stunning places on the island is Lago das Sete Ciudades. Hope I said that right. It's a twin lake situated in the crater of a volcano. One lake is green while the other is blue. The nearby Santiago Lake is also an incredibly unique place. The highest point in the Azores and all of Portugal is the massive Mount Pico. The stratovolcano is over 7,713 feet high and last erupted in 1720. From the dramatic coastline to the crater lakes, the Azores just have so many places to see. While we're still in Portugal, we're going to head over to the island of Madeira. Located off the northwest coast of Africa, Madeira is an archipelago of 4 islands. It was claimed by Portugal in 1419. Madeira is known for its idle climate, rugged mountains, and also the birthplace of Cristiano Ronaldo. One of the coolest places in Madeira is Pico do Arriero. It's Madeira's 3rd highest peak and only a 30-minute drive from the capital city of Funchal. The weather on top can be quite unpredictable. You might get lucky and be above the clouds. You can also visit Pico Ruivo, which is the highest peak at 1,861 meters high. Madeira is just such a unique island and hope all can visit. Alright, so after Madeira, we're going to make a change in scenery and head up to one of the world's northernmost inhabited places, Svalbard. Located right between the North Pole and Norway, lies an Arctic archipelago. The capital of Svalbard is this town called Longyearbyen, which has a population of a whopping 2,000 people. What's cool about Svalbard is that it's a visa-free zone, so basically anyone can move and work there. Archipelago is also home to the Global Seed Vault, where thousands of the world's seeds are kept in case of a global catastrophe. The biggest danger on Svalbard is the Arctic cold and the polar bears. In some places you're required to bring a gun to protect yourself against them. One of the most interesting places on Svalbard is this Russian settlement of Barentsburg. Barentsburg started as a Dutch mining town in the 1920s, but it was sold to the Soviet Union in 1932. Now the settlement has a population of over 400 people. Most people come mainly from Russia and Ukraine. Now you can get there by taking a boat or snowmobiles in the winter. I hear it reminds people of North Korea because it's just such a strange place there. After, we're going to head to Italy to visit the second largest island in the Mediterranean, Sardinia. Now, with some of Europe's best coastline, pristine beaches, and the clearest water you've ever seen, Sardinia is the place to be. One of the most impressive places on Sardinia is the Baunai coast. It's 40 kilometers of coastline that's made up of massive limestone cliffs and secluded beaches. It isn't the easiest place to reach. Most beaches require a long hike or a trip by boat, but that's what makes it so special. Once travel restrictions are lifted, you best believe I'm going to be renting a boat and cruising the Sardinia coast. Alright, after Sardinia, we're going to head back to the Arctic Circle to visit the Lofoten Islands. Lofoten is located in northern Norway, and even though it's in the Arctic Circle, it feels like you're on a tropical island there. I was lucky enough to go there about 2 summers ago. One of the first places we visited was this little fishing village called Henningsvær to see the world's most scenic football field. When we got there, we sadly didn't have a ball, but we had a good time playing on the field and enjoying the incredible views of Henningsvær. We kept driving and made it to the iconic town of Rain. When you think of Norway, this is it. It has red houses surrounded by massive sea mountains. I'd have to say this is the most beautiful town in Lofoten. When I was planning my road trip to Norway, I just remember seeing pictures of this place and I couldn't believe it existed. If you want to do an amazing hike, I'd recommend hiking to Kavavlika Beach. It's about a 4-kilometer round trip trek and I promise it's worth it. When you get to the beach, you're going to be amazed by the landscape. It has mountains that remind me of Switzerland, an ocean that looks like the Caribbean, and it's as green as a tropical island. I mean, I just can't believe places like this exist, especially in the Arctic Circle. Alright, so after Lofoten, we are going to head to the Faroe Islands. Now located right between Norway and Iceland in the Atlantic Ocean, the archipelago is made up of 18 volcanic islands. I have to say that the Faroes are home to some of the world's most dramatic landscapes, from sheer sea cliffs to waterfalls straight into the ocean. The Faroes just have so much to offer. While the islands are part of the Kingdom of Denmark, they are a self-governing archipelago. One of the most scenic places in the Faroe Islands is the Múlafossur waterfall. It's located on Madeira Island. The water falls over 100 feet down into the ocean below. The backdrop of the village with the massive green sea mountain makes it one of the most scenic places on earth. One of my personal favorite places is the Sea Stacks Adringarnir. It's a slanted sea rock with a perfect arch right above the cold Atlantic Ocean. This place looks like a scene straight out of Game of Thrones. I felt like a dragon was going to fly through that arch. While I haven't been to the Faroes yet, it's definitely one of the first places I'm going once travel opens up. So for our next location, we're going to head to Scotland to visit the Isle of Skye. If you want to feel like you're in a fairy tale, this is where you need to go. I was lucky enough to visit the Isle of Skye last summer. It's about a 5-hour drive from Edinburgh. Now, one of the most impressive places in the Isle of Skye is the Old Manor Store. The legend of the Old Manor Store is supposedly a giant lived there a long time ago, and when he was buried, his thumb was left sticking out of the ground, creating the mystical rock formation. I went there for sunrise and sunset, and both occasions were breathtaking. When I was there, crows were flying around the rock, and there was just some sheep running around. It was just such a magical occasion. Now, just a few minutes away from the Old Manor Store, there was a breathtaking waterfall called Meout Falls that cascades down to the ocean. There's a nice viewpoint where you can see the waterfall. The surrounding sea cliffs in the area are also stunning. If you're looking to find some ferries, you may want to check out the ferry pools. They're these picturesque blue pools that lie at the base of the Black Kulin Mountains. Alright, so for our last location, we're going to head over to Greece to visit my favorite island, Zakynthos. Now, I've been there twice so far and I just keep wanting to come back. It's one of the most impressive locations that I've ever been. From 1,000-foot white cliffs to the bluest water you've ever seen, Zakynthos has it all. The most famous place in Zakynthos is Shipwreck Beach. Back in the 1980s, a cargo ship from Turkey was carrying illegal contraband, and the Greek Navy chased them into this cove where it crashed. Over the years, the sand has built up around the ship, and it's created one of the most visually stunning locations in the world. The beach is only accessible by boat, and you can either take a boat from the main town of Zakynthos, or you can go to a port such as Porto Verome like I did. When I got there, I was just baffled by the size of the cliff walls. They are over 1,000 feet high. I got on the wrecked ship and did some exploring. Luckily, I didn't get tetanus with all that rust. After checking out the beach, I decided to get a view from the cliffs above. I made the unwise decision to sit on the ledge and dangle my feet. Don't be like me. I hear a lot of tourists fall off the cliff as they get too close to the edge. Anyways, I just had a good time exploring. I mean, there's no other place like it. I waited until later in the day to watch the sunset, and the view was just as impressive. I was amazed by how the ocean water turned into a milky blue color, while the setting sun turned the cliffs to an orange hue. That will be a sunset I will forever remember. Well, that is it for my European Islands Top 10. What island was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. You can also check out my website to get travel guides and stock footage. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at shirley.films. It's Ryan, and we will see you later.